Okay, we are in the middle of deriving the compound Mahavayyakaranaha. We use the Sutram 2161 to justify the compounding, because 2161 specifically mentions the term Mahat and it is qualifying Vayyakaranaha, who is the Pujyamanaha, the one who is being respected as being great. We are at the stage where we have Mahat plus Vayyakarana. Now we use the Sutram 6346 to replace the ending letter the of Mahat by the letter A. Sutram 6346 reads An Mahataha Samanadhikarana Jatiya Yoho. The Vritti says Mahat Akarontadeshaha Syat Samanadhikarane Uttarapade Jatiye Cha Pare, which means the ending letter the of Mahat is substituted by A when Mahat is followed by either a latter member of a compound which has Samanadhikaranam, refers to the same item as does Mahat, or by the affix Jatiya, which is prescribed by the Sutram 5369, Prakara Vachane Jatiyar. We are already familiar with this affix Jatiya. We encountered it when we studied the Sutram 6342, Pumvat Karmadharaya Jatiya Deshiyeshu. That time we saw that this affix Jatiya is used to denote one who has a particular characteristic or speciality. So it is called as Prakara Vachane. It is a Ditaha affix, so you won't go into too many details, but that is the basic meaning conveyed by the affix Jatiya. So this Sutram 6346 applies when Mahat is either followed by the latter member of a compound which has Samanadhikaranam with Mahat, or when Mahat is followed by the affix Jatiya. The note says that as per the Paribhasha Sutram 1152, Alontyasya, only the ending letter Ta of Mahat is substituted by A. We know that as a default, whenever any substitution is prescribed, the substitute takes the place of only the ending letter of the item being substituted. In this case, the Mahat is being substituted, so only the ending letter Ta is substituted by A. Next note says, Samanadhikarane kim. In order to understand the importance of the condition Samanadhikarane, consider the example Mahataha Seva, Mahat Seva, where Mahataha is Shashti Ekavachanam, service of a great person. Since Mahat and Seva do not have Samanadhikaranam, here the Sutram 6346 does not apply. Here Mahat is referring to a great person while Seva is referring to service. Two different things. Hence, the Purapadam and the Uttarapadam do not have Samanadhikaranam, and therefore 6346 does not apply. Mahat does not become Maha. Okay, so now let us complete our example. We are at the stage where we have Mahat plus Vayyakarana. Here the conditions for applying 6346 are satisfied because we do have Mahat followed by a Uttarapadam of a compound which has Samanadhikaranam, refers to the same item as does Mahat. Vayyakarana means a grammarian, Mahat means great, which is referring to the same person, the grammarian. So the Uttarapadam and the Purapadam has Samanadhikaranam. So therefore 6346 applies and we replace the ending letter Ta of Mahat by the letter A. As already explained as per 1152, Alontyasya. Only the ending letter Ta of Mahat is replaced by A. And then we apply Akastavani Dirgha to get Mahavayyakarana as the final compound Pradipadikam. Now as per the Sutram 2426, Paravalingan Dvandvatat Purushayoho, the compound Pradipadikam Mahavayyakarana is masculine, since the latter member Vayyakarana of the compound is masculine. Declines like Rama Shabdaha. The final note says here, consider the example Ekadhika Dasha. Ekadhikaha Dasha equals Ekadasha. 1 plus 10 equals 11. We already know that this is a Shakaparthivadi Samasaha, similar to the compound Panchadhikaha Dasha equals Panchadasha, which we studied. In Panchadasha as well as in Ekadasha, the Uttarapadam, which is Adhika of the Purvapadam, has taken Lopaha by the Vartikam. Shakaparthivadinam Siddhaye Uttarapadalopasyopa Sankhyanam. The compounding is justified by that Vartikam. But now the question we are asking here is that how did Eka become Eka? How do we justify the substitution A in place of the ending letter a of eka. There are two ways out. Either we can say at iti yoga vibhagad atvam, which means that we have to either split at from the sutram an mahataha samanadhikarana jatiya yoho. That's one way out. So we create a loophole, the substitution a to apply elsewhere also, not only to mahat, but also in other instances as seen in the language. Or we use the nyapakam, the indication given by the Sutram 5349, Pragekadashabhyo Chandasi. In that Sutram 5349, Panini himself has used the compound Ekadasha. So that gives us the indication, the Nyapakam, that Panini intends the final compound to be Ekadasha and not Ekadasha. So we perform the substitution A in place of the ending letter A of Eka to get Ekadasha.